Hey, party people, and welcome to Nicole Reacts, a show in which I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that find me, that I find, or that other people help me find on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary that I've owned a legitimate marketing company for almost 16 years. In that time, I've worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. So I feel like I know a fair bit when it comes to online marketing in a general way, but also I have some very specific working examples as well. So as you see, today is a holiday edition of Nicole Reacts. And, I did this last year, but admittedly, the channel has grown a lot. So I'm trying it this year to see if it's content that people like. So at the end of this, just let me know whether you like this and we can make it an annual tradition if you all do, or at least if some of you do anyway. Now, holiday marketing is a specific subset of marketing because most small businesses make a majority of their money during the holiday gift giving season. And so marketing becomes more important during this particular time of year. We watched some videos from GoDaddy last year, and I noticed that there is a new to me GoDaddy video about holiday marketing, and I thought we could watch it together today. Last year, we watched some content from GoDaddy. It was kind of three shorter videos about holiday marketing. This year, I found kind of one longer format video about tips to increase holiday sales. So I thought we could watch that together. I have some personal feelings about GoDaddy. I'm just going to say that up front. I don't think they're a great web services provider. I will link to some reasons in the show notes below and spare you my ranting, but I will also link to last year's video and I'll link to the specific part in the video where I talk about it in case you want to know why. But I want you to know that I'm putting aside my personal feelings about GoDaddy because they probably hired an outside firm to make this video anyway. And we're going to see if they have objectively some good ideas to increase our holiday marketing. I'm going to try to post this video obviously ahead of the last ship date for USPS here in the US so that if you want to take advantage of some of these marketing things, you can and actually ship out your products in time. But if they don't give us any good tips, I will try to give you some good tips as part of this video. So let's cozy up. I have a coffee and I didn't make Christmas cookies yet, but I did find an old Pop-Tart in my cupboard, so I have heated that up. It's a vaguely Christmas cookie-like, right? Just to mentally prepare you, this is a longer video. It's an hour and 20 minutes long. So get yourself a beverage and or a snack. I have both. I have some coffee with some vanilla sweet cream on the top from Aldi. It's quite good. And I haven't had time to bake any cookies yet, so I found a Pop-Tart in the back of my cupboard that I've heated up to give me some Christmas cookie vibes. So without further ado, let's see what GoDaddy has to teach us about online marketing during the holiday season.
I just can't believe that the holidays are already here. It seems they come faster and faster each year. But since you're here, you probably are already knowing how important it is to start preparing your marketing strategy for the holidays and to do it as early as possible. Well, today we are going to talk about 5 steps to convert that holiday traffic into New Year's sales. So we're going to make those holiday sales, but also continue to use some strategies into the new year as well. And I've got a lot I want to cover with you. Hopefully, it's enough information to really give you some tangible action items to take with.
I hope she introduces herself because when I saw this slide, this is the guy I was expecting to be presenting, but then I see Alyssa Campbell and I hear her talking. So, yeah, I hope to get what her background is as she starts.
With you to implement not only this year, but for many years to come. Shoppers save all year for gifts for their friends and families and even themselves, and your business absolutely deserves a cut of all those juicy profits. And that's why you need to start working now to get your slice of that pie. So if you don't,
Oops. Watching this in December. Should have watched it in October. Naughty me.
you could end up left out in the cold, pun intended, while your competitors are making all of those sales. In today's webinar, by the way, this will be recorded. So if you are interested in getting a copy of this afterwards, you can definitely email GoDaddy Empower and we will get that to you. But today we're going to talk about several different things in order to help you through those holiday sales. So we're going to go how to understand the difference between leads and customers, some ways to capture leads, convert them into customers, and how to drive email marketing. If you're using it, I've got some good pointers for you. If you're not, I've got a lot of reasons why you should be. How to spotlight your social media pages, really produce great content. And then relying on those customer advocates. Once you have great customers, how you can utilize them to bring in new customers, and how to buy point buyers to your website. There is a great big digital world out there, and we want to bring your customers to your site to make those conversions, right? Also, hello, everybody. My name is Alyssa Campbell, and I'm going to be your host today. I am a senior event marketing specialist here at GoDaddy, and I've been doing social media marketing for the past 7 years or so, and I've been with GoDaddy for about 3.5 years
Thank
now.
you for the background.
And I have done it all, whether it's working for a small local construction company or a global fitness franchise. And now this wonderful international tech organization. I have had my hands in a lot of different marketing aspects, whether that's grassroots efforts, digital campaigns, event planning, and now I do live webinars and educational videos. So I just wanted to point out that I am here to help and that this time is for you. And I'm just here to share my knowledge and answer your questions. So please feel free to drop your questions in the chat and I will try to work my way through them as the presentation goes. Like I said, I have a lot of content that I want to cover with everybody here today. I will save time for Q&A at the end of today's presentation if I'm unable to get to your questions. That's what that time is for, so please feel free to ask them again. There is a Q&A option in Zoom, so please do utilize that and I can see your questions right there. There's also the chat box. And so I want you to get comfortable using that. Go ahead and switch your option to everyone. That way everyone can see your question. And I am just going to type in it right now so that you can see where your chat is. And I would love for you to use that. So please feel free to maybe share your name, your business, maybe something you're wanting to get out of today, just to get comfortable using that chat. And I look forward to seeing all of your questions throughout today. Okay,
Okay, I think this was good. It's good to orient people to how you want them to interact with you during your presentation.
now
Good
let's
job,
dive
Alyssa.
into our first topic of understanding the difference between leads and customers. Well, you probably know this already, but it is important to understand that difference because without leads, there are no customers. And to attract more customers, you need to reach more prospective customers and convert them into leads. And in this section, I'm going to give you a little bit of some great pointers to really hone in on your ideal customer, who that is, and then how you can reach them this holiday season. And even not in the holiday season, right? In marketing, there's a saying, if you're talking to everybody, you're not talking to anybody. In other words, if you don't know your target audience or how to speak directly to them, your broad generic messages are going to be overlooked, ignored, and forgotten. So, focusing on ambiguous, generalized audiences won't really make it easier to fill a business with customers. It actually ends up having the opposite effect. The language.
All right, so just pausing here. If you look in the upper right corner, which is where the speaker should be, it's been changing back and forth between a couple of people, and it's because she hasn't spotlit herself. So if you're in Zoom and presenting and want the camera to stay on you while you're presenting, if you spotlight yourself, which is something I think you could do if you're a host or co-host of the Zoom, that will keep you as the featured video and not let different people, if they like cough or whatever, it's not going to like switch over to them. So just a little tip from me for about Zoom.
Selling points that you're presenting in your marketing materials should actually speak directly to your target audience. I know a lot of businesses, by the way, welcome Tonya. Thank you for sharing. Construction consultants. And my husband is also in construction. So I have a big construction background, know a lot about it. And yes, welcome Angie too. I also have my coworker Jeffrey Brown on today. He's going to also be helping out in the chat, so definitely drop your questions there. And the Q&A, I can see someone's popped it in there too.
So she said hi to two people and then pointed out her coworker who's moderating the chat. Is there only 4 people here or something? I don't know. I don't know why she greeted those 2 people in particular.
But like I said, a lot of people are like, my customer is any customer, and I can reach anyone could be a valuable customer to me. I don't need a specific target audience. It's everybody. And I hear you, but without a clear target audience, your email marketing, your website content, and your ad campaigns will actually end up being less effective because it is a great big world out there, and there's a lot of people you could be potentially trying to reach. So while your initial reaction might be to classify your ideal customers in this broad, generic way, there are many long-term benefits to drilling down and defining your target audience in more specific terms. So I would love to use for you to stop using these generic, broad classifications for your target audience and instead spend some time going deep into defining that ideal customer. So to create a complete description or what we call a buyer persona, you want to outline some of these characteristics you see here. Some demographics, which are that statistical information about your audience. And then some professional details, maybe some information about their job or their place of work. Any psychographics, which are details about their personalities or their innate qualities, maybe some goals, descriptions of what they want to accomplish, and maybe how your product or service can accomplish that for them, and any challenges they have, some problems that this audience regularly faces, or maybe how your product and service can help them overcome those challenges. Influences are media impressions that the audience counters, and then the buying process, how they're ultimately making those purchasing decisions.
So I just looked up the difference between demographics and psychographics, and it seems like demographics are, like, specific things, and that psychographics is more sort of attitude, state of mind. So 3 pieces of demographic information about me are that I am a 42-year-old woman who is unmarried, right? Those are 3 kinda definite things about me. 3 psychographic things about me might be I am considering buying a home, that I listen to audiobooks, and that I really enjoy traveling. They're facts about me, but they're a little bit squishier than that I'm 42 or that I live here or that I do this kind of specific job.
Which a lot of hint hint, a lot of more people are making purchasing decisions online, and after seeing lots of marketing efforts. So but the more specific you can get about your target audience, the better your marketing and business operations will ultimately end up being. So in order to take this a little step further, you could really continue developing your target audience description by creating, like I said, that detailed customer profile or persona. A target market is in the broadest definition of who should be using your products or service. Okay, but for example, a business's target market could be professional women between the ages of 25 and 40 with an income of with an income of $85,000 or more. And your ideal customer profile goes a bit deeper than the target market, looking more closely at things like demographics, psychographics, mindset, and needs. And that's where we'll dive a little deeper here. This person you create would be a semi fictional characterization of your ideal customer. For example, it could be a female outdoor enthusiast between the ages of 18 and 30 who lives in a colder climate, maybe with a fashion forward focus. And you can even name her Jennifer. She also loves skiing and hiking, and she lives in the Rocky Mountain region. And by narrowing your focus, you can really start to improve the targeting for your ad spend, your content development, and marketing dollars to ultimately get that higher return on your investment. Jeffrey dropping in a really helpful blog to identify that customer persona. So check it out if you would like some more information on how to do that.
The other thing to keep in mind is that you don't have to appeal to exactly one customer avatar. Most businesses have several that they're appealing to. So let's say you like this and you're like, okay, I want to appeal to this woman. I also want to appeal to female, fashion forward, outdoorsy people who are near the Adirondacks in upstate New York, in the Smoky Mountains, and near the Pacific Crest Trail. So you could hold, for example, if you're doing online ads, You could have 4 regional campaigns, with maybe photos from an influencer in each one of those regions wearing your clothing. Or you could have specific landing pages on your website, "Oh, here is some great trails, here is some great people to follow on social media," and all of that, so that when someone is looking for that information, they get to your website and then they see your clothing, right? So there's different ways to address these avatars. There doesn't have to be just one though, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Now, let's talk about during the holidays. So, once you've established your target market, you may want to consider adjusting it slightly during the holiday season according to buyers' needs, kind of changing temporarily. Like, think about who would want to purchase your products or services as a gift. And that's sometimes what we need to really hone in on is like, yes, maybe it's a female outdoor enthusiast, but oh, her husband may want to buy her a gift card or book her a thing. And so now males between 25 and 35 with it's a whole separate buyer persona. So you may need to reassess this during the holidays. So anything like a search.
That makes sense. I think that's a good idea. So, a lot of people start off broad with their marketing and test some variables. So maybe you take out this gift card special and maybe ad set number 1 hits men in the United States between 25 and 40. Maybe it hits women in the United States 25 to 40, and maybe it hits people 60 and over in the US. And you run the same ad to those people, you might see that the 60 plus year olds are the ones buying the gift cards, but that would inform you, right? So you'd say, okay, now I'm going to run most of my ads to the 60 plus year old audience, and I'm going to try these 2 different graphics. This one better than the other one? Okay. So over time, the reason you run ads like this is you experiment, and by testing, your target market gets cheaper and cheaper to advertise to over time. Now, during the holidays, your ad spend's going to go up because other people are bidding on the same ads you're bidding on, and it's a competitive process. So you're going to pay more for those ads. But if you experiment over time, you're going to be able to reach your customers a lot more inexpensively. So I like though how she's thinking, which is that, okay, the person who likes the stuff is one thing, but if I'm buying a gift, it might be a different person buying the gift than my target audience. So that makes sense to me.
Certificate or a gift card or a special, some kind of seasonal thing that you're running could be different for available for different target audiences. So turning that lead into a customer is really the lifeblood of your business. And sometimes, depending on what you're offering, you may be able to collect information like their phone number, their address, maybe what business they have, a special date, maybe like a birthday or anniversary. And of course, the more information that that prospect provides, the better you can segment and personalize your marketing. So, prospects are willing to give you more information if you provide them with something of value in return. And I do have some good examples of what that looks like later so that you can, especially with email, or that's typically the most common thing I see with prospects giving information to be a lead, and then a customer is to get their name and their email. That's the most basic lead capturing form that's out there. And so once they are
You can also, instead of email, capture their cell phone number. There's lots of businesses that work as well, if not better, with a text message campaign than with an email campaign. And there's certainly a lot less work to write, let's face it.
a lead, then they convert to a customer when they purchase your product or your service. And one transaction is great, but your real goal is to create a loyal repeat customer who comes back to purchase your products again and again. In fact, on average, loyal customers are worth up to 10 times as much as their first purchase. And one way to really bolster that customer loyalty, like I said, is with email marketing. And I do have some really good lead capturing examples here to show you as well. By the way, I apologize. I am just getting over the flu, so I'll be taking sips of some water throughout this presentation, um, just to keep my throat parched. Okay, quenched is probably the right term there. All right, so email marketing is a really vibrant and powerful way to connect with people. And if you're not taking advantage of email, or maybe you needed a few pointers on how to make your campaigns a bit more successful, I'm going to dive into a few ways to stay up to date with email marketing. All right. Email, like I said, is one of the best ways to communicate with your customers. It can help you nurture leads, raise brand awareness, and sell your products. Driving email marketing subscriptions is a mission critical if you want to convert website traffic into repeat sales in the new year. Transactional emails actually have 800% more clicks than any other type of email and can generate 600% more revenue.
Sources, please. By the way, the number that's on the screen right now says the average ROI of email marketing was $36 for every $1 spent. This can really vary by industry and obviously vary depending on the value of your product and things like that. But I've seen numbers as low as like $15 for every dollar spent, and I've seen numbers like $800 per dollar spent. I think it just depends on your industry and it depends on your customer base and it probably depends on a lot of things. But I guess the underlying idea is that you are going to get your money back from email marketing in a general way.
So, in short, email campaigns drive revenue. And in this section, I'll walk you through the basics of email marketing and give you some tips to optimize your email campaigns for better conversions. So, let's get right to it.
I wonder if GoDaddy has like an email subscription thing. I know they have a website builder, but I'm wondering if they have some kind of email marketing service that she's going to sell
Also,
us.
another fun fact, the average ROI of email marketing was $36 or $36 for every $1 spent. So that's a lot of return on your investment for one mode of marketing. Okay, let's talk about how to create and grow a large email list. In order to send emails, you need to have email addresses to send them to,
Yep.
right? One way to convert prospects into leads on your website is by enticing visitors to subscribe to your email list. And I said I was going to have a good example of what that might look like here, and this is it. You could offer free shipping, a percentage or dollar amount off of a purchase. Here you can sign up to receive a free phone holder, maybe an entry into a contest, drawing, or gift.
So as she scrolled the website, something popped up, which we call a light box in web design. And it's the fact that this thing pops up and looks brighter than the stuff that's behind it. And you typically have to close it out. So you can make this box appear immediately when someone gets to the website, when they start scrolling, which is when this one appeared, or you can make it appear after a certain time period that someone has been on the website. So let's say after someone has been on the website for a minute, you can make this box appear. So you have a lot of ability to customize what it says in this box. And what you'll notice is most marketing people use it to capture email addresses or cell phone numbers for a texting list. So you can also use it to advertise like sales and things like that. It doesn't have to be just an email collection thing, but a lot of people do use these kind of light box effects to make sure that people see that they have an email newsletter. Also, another thing you can program is when they hit the X button, you can decide when this pop-up will reappear for them. I can make it so every time someone comes onto the site, they see it, or I can say, you know what, if they close it, have the pop-up reappear after 7 days. So if you come back to my website 8 days later, even though you closed out the thing, it'll show up again. Close it out. Oh, it's going to be another 7 days before you see it again. So you can actually set up when they show up, how often they show up, in addition to what they say, just as something to know.
Giveaway. You can offer a sneak peek into new content, exclusive email only offers, which is also kind of what this pop up here is saying. Website pop ups, when used properly, can actually be extremely effective way to grow your email list. And down at the bottom, you can also enter your email to stay updated on news, sales, and community events. It's just a great example of how you can do this on your website.
She's also basically saying here, put the email subscription in more than one place on the website. So yes, you can have the pop-up, but if you just had that and someone closed it out, well, then you're not going to get their email. So she's showing here how it's in the footer of the website. So this will appear on every page of the website. You can also integrate it into your form. So on your contact form, you can have a little checkbox that says subscribe for email updates. I have one on our website. It is automatically not checked, so you have to check it on purpose. And I would say that 4 out of 5 people who fill out that form actually subscribe to our email list. So there's different ways you can build this email collection into your website besides hoping that people order and getting their email address that way.
This contact form also captures a name, an email, and a quick message. Definitely having multiple ways on your site to do that is a
Yep.
great idea. But another fun fact is approximately 66% of online shoppers made some kind of purchase after receiving a message through email. So if you're not already planning an email campaign this holiday season, you definitely need to start one for sure.
Or at the very least, turn on abandoned cart emails because those actually convert a lot better than you think they would. "Oh, you forgot to check out. Click here to finish checking out." "Oh, I see that you didn't make the purchase. Here's a 10% off coupon. Come back and purchase it." So you can set up those automated emails either through your whatever you use to sell things on your website, whether it's Shopify, WooCommerce, or whatever, or you can set them up on the email marketing end of things too.
And in case you were still like, ugh, email, I'm not sure I want to do email. People aren't, thrilled with email. I'm not thrilled with email. Here are some really big benefits of doing email. It can, number one, increase brand awareness. It really does help spread the word about your brand, products, and services by sharing valuable resources, some educational content, maybe news and updates with more subscribers. I can also generate website traffic. So you can take subscribers to your landing pages, maybe even sale pages to learn more about your products or just general, product information. You don't always have to be pushing a sale, but it take them from their email to your website to make a purchase. Like we're talking about 66% of people make purchases from email. It's just a high conversion. So you can also, like I said, drive sales and revenue, offer discounts or shipping, trigger purchases, or just increase that awareness of what's out there, what you got going, and how customers can make a purchase from you. You can also keep them engaged. So just switching up your email campaigns can keep customers interested and really excited about your brand. Plus, it helps you stay top of their minds. And then last but not least, you can gain valuable business data from email. It really allows you to collect customer data. You can learn more about their behavior. You can do this by tracking analytics or even sending email surveys and feedback forms, which you can use that to leverage information to really improve your emails in the future, maybe even your business, your products, or your services. So there's a lot that you can get out of email if you're not taking advantage of it. And I highly suggest giving it a go if you're not already. If you are planning on doing it, this is where we're going to segue into some tips of how it can maybe make it a little bit better this holiday season. So, before you even think about creating your email campaign, you definitely need to understand why you're creating one in the first place. So, what do you hope to achieve with this email? What actions do you want your contacts to take after they open your email? So, much like we just talked about the benefits of what email can do on the last slide, you can really use that to apply it to your goal for your email campaign in general, whether that's brand awareness, website traffic, revenue generation, maybe even lead nurturing, like I said, feedback and surveys. Whatever that goal is, understanding it really helps give your efforts some direction and it helps you achieve some tangible results.
I also wanna let you know, if you wanna do email marketing, you don't have to deeply discount your products to do it. A lot of small business owners are like, "Well, my goal is to, like, make money this time of year. I can't really afford to do a super deep cut on my pricing because 'cause it's been a rough year." I think people totally understand that. But what you can do with email marketing is, for example, make a gift guide. So I'm walking into your store, I'm looking for something for my mother. What's something that a lot of people's mothers like in your store, and why? And if they can buy it online, link to it. Oh, they're looking for something for their favorite kid. Here's something you carry that kids like. They're looking for a gift for somebody who likes to travel or somebody who appreciates art or whatever. You can make a little gift guide in the email that sends people to specific products on your website and give people ideas, kind of jog their memories as to what you have, and maybe make people aware of products they don't necessarily know to look for in your store. Another thing you can offer is local information. So let's say that you know that the local Christmas tree lighting is this day and that there's caroling happening this other day. and a local Hanukkah celebration for kids is happening over here on this day. You can gather all that information together and send that to your local audience if you're a local small business owner. So there's other stuff you can say over email, even if you don't want to offer deep discounts. And if you're a small business owner, you should be offering a gift certificate on your website. I have a website where I sell local gift certificates, and the gift certificates I've sold would surprise you. It's not just local restaurants. I have had parents buy a gift certificate to the local co-op for their college student. I have had people buy a doula gift certificate for a baby shower. Businesses you wouldn't think that people would want a gift certificate for, people want to support. So offer it on your website, or at least offer the ability to begin the gift certificate process on your website. Just my opinion, but let's get back to it.
So make sure that your email campaign goals are aligned with the larger goals of your business to have a positive impact on your bottom line. Now, also, I hope you've noticed some of the beautiful design examples that I've
The beautiful design examples are all from their GoDaddy Studio, which is a Canva competitor that, in my opinion, is inferior.
here on the slides. These are excellent emails. They are not all red and green and bright and colorful. They're using what are their brand colors, and they're keeping it really clean and beautiful. And this is how I'm transitioning into talking about how to design your email. Your email can be full of valuable, insightful content, but if it doesn't look good, it might not have much of an impact. So here are some tips to really creating an engaging email design. Number one is apply your branding. Add your logo. Use your brand colors and fonts that you've chosen to represent your brand. And then keep the design aligned with your visual brand identity. Don't stray too far from it. You want customers to know that it's you when they open your email. And then second, add some white space. This does an excellent job of adding white space to an email. Let your content breathe by adding white space or some blank areas around the text and visual objects. And this really just helps your email design look clean and professional, and it makes the information
Hmm.
easier to read. I mean, this is just so easy to read. It's easy on the eyes, there's information to digest, and you can do it really quickly. So keep that in mind when you're creating your content. So use images. Now, this may have, it may be unnecessary to say, but I feel like it should be said because your emails um, will could look like a boring letter if it's just text, if there's not an image. So add images, and you can even add GIFs to make your emails a bit more attractive. And then you also want your emails to be responsive. Your emails should look great on both desktop and mobile devices. Avoid using large images that don't load properly on small screens or slow internet. And the way that you can test whether or not your email or any content for that matter that you're creating on your computer or your desktop will be formatted properly for your mobile device is to send it to your phone and open it up on your phone. So send it to your email, check it out on your phone, make sure everything is loading quickly, that everything
I
is
would say for most content, think mobile first. Most people are going to be accessing that content from a mobile device. In general, I would say for all internet marketing stuff, think mobile first. Most people access the internet most of the time on a mobile device. So if it looks good on mobile, it's going to look good on a desktop too.
visually appealing. It's not off screen. You don't have to scroll to the left in order to see some words, things like that. And then establish visual hierarchy. So use alignment, varying font sizes, and other visual hierarchy principles to really organize your email design elements. And these are also, like I said, two great examples where we've got a beautiful fall in love header with Augustine at the Kenwood Inn. Very simple title, and then it talks about how fall is around the corner. They want you to come enjoy the beautiful time of year and the nation's oldest city at the city's oldest B&B. Very cute, love it. And then the same with National Pancake Day. They got the large date, the large title, and then information, the supplemental information.
Two things to kind of clarify what you're saying. Number one, the more important things are written in bigger fonts. And number two, your design should go in a visual line. So, for example, on the left, fall in love with St. Augustine at Kentwood Inn. That's written the biggest because that's the most important. And in terms of a visual line, I start at the top with the image and then I go straight down. And in the second example, the date and National Pancake Day are written the largest. And in terms of the continuity of the visual, I start at the top with the date, down to National Pancake Day, and then my eyes go down to the two pictures of pancakes, and then I go to the bottom with the more information about Pancake Day. So bigger things are more important, and there is a visual line of sight through the design. I think that's what she means by visual hierarchy, but I thought I'd say that a little more explicitly.
Very easy to read, digest, lots of space, but it has great visual hierarchy. So keep this in mind as you're creating your email campaigns. And some more lovely examples as well that aren't, just the same black and white, or, just varying colors, different kinds of companies, industries. Okay, so we want you to grab their attention. It's important to get creative in ways to inspire that curiosity or urgency to click. Every email should have one clear and compelling CTA or call to action. I will
Thank you
talk
for
about this
clarifying the acronym.
throughout today's presentation. A CTA is a call to action. It grabs users' attention. It's something that readers want to act on, and it's really essential to incorporate some element of urgency because they're hard to ignore. And like I said, they spur readers into action and help you ultimately improve your conversions. So you'll draw the reader in and compel them with things like get the discount, reserve your spot, try for free, and so on. And as a rule of thumb, when you're creating these buttons or these CTAs, I would try to keep the text to 2 or 3 words. And if necessary, you can add up to 5 or 6, but no more than that. So using phrases like act now, come in today, call now, to really create that sense of urgency in your CTA and generate a higher click-through rate.
And also notice for the visuals for the holidays, they're using things like snowflakes, pine boughs, or a little piece of ribbon. There's ways to say holidays without it feeling like Christmas threw up all over your template, like Christmas threw up all over my sweater. Do you know what I mean?
Also, as you're designing your email campaigns, keep in mind that the average prospect opens only about 18% of the emails that they actually receive. So you need to be impactful and timely. And with that in mind, be sure that you're using a catchy subject line to really differentiate yours from the other countless emails in the inbox. So when you're creating your campaign, don't just kind of put something in the subject line. That's just as important as the email itself because you need people to open it in order to see your beautiful email. Okay. Definitely feel free to drop any questions in the chat as we go. I'm also totally happy to answer questions as we go along, like I said. And you can use your Q&A as well.
Has no one asked any questions yet?
So just going to take a brief pause, sip some water before we move on to our next topic.
Really? Nobody has any questions? Like I said, my only question was her sources for some of that sort of marketing ROI data that she was talking about. But another thing that's her producer could do, or the person who's monitoring the chat, is they could be taking the questions that are coming in chat and putting them kind of off screen in a document and kind of organizing them so that she could see like a list of questions that had come through and maybe group like things together to make it easier for her as the presenter to find questions she wants to address, but maybe he's doing that and we just don't know that. But just a little tip from my virtual event production that I do for people sometimes.
Which is to spotlight your social media pages. So unless you have been just, I don't know, living under a rock the last few years, you know that social media marketing is really an essential part of every business's strategy. So, through social media, you can highlight new products or services. You can invite customers to events, promote sales or specials, run giveaways or drawings, answer questions about your products, services, so many things. But let's talk about some holiday specific facts when it comes to social media. 56% of people are using social media to research products or services during the holidays. 87% of Gen Z shoppers, a whole generation of people out there spending money, 87% of them will get holiday shopping inspiration from social media
Where are you getting these stats?
platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Some are even calling social media as the #1 channel for capturing holiday shoppers. So now that you're armed with some crazy facts, eye-opening stats, I am here to give
With
you some
absolutely no sources given.
really great tips to put together a killer strategy this holiday
Okay.
season.
Now, if you're here last year, you remember the guy who gave us the GoDaddy Studio tour. He used the one with the black and white stripes as an example of a great design. But I want to point out to you, like I did that time, that if we look at this design objectively, what's interesting about it isn't the stripy background or the layout, it's the photo and the photo effect. So unless you have really high quality photos, your stuff isn't going to look great in these templates. So just saying that out loud in case I need to.
All right, we're not done talking about design. Here we are again to talk about social media design. The holidays are all about excitement of a sale, deal, gift giving, or receiving, and you really want your content to stand out from all the social media noise. There's lots of other people out there trying to get that same holiday sale out as well. So many other businesses, big and small, are competing in that same space for similar audiences. And we spoke earlier about targeting a tailored audience. So this will definitely help narrow your focus. However, you'll also need some really killer content to make a big impression and capture their attention. So create some anticipation or build urgency when your sale finally goes live. Content around pre orders or reminders, even countdowns. Countdowns are huge during the holidays. And they are a great way to get folks excited about the launch of your promotion or something that you've got going on. So definitely try to do some, urgency, creating anticipation there this season. You can also keep your messages short and simple. Most marketing messages can actually be boiled down to like a single sentence or slogan. And brief messages actually hold readers' attention and they're more ideal for social media. So you don't need this long, drawn out explanation for what's going on. Keep it short, sweet, put the vital information there and create that anticipation, that urgency, stay relevant. And lastly, include a call to action that tells users where to click, where to go, where to show up, if it's a boots on the ground situation, if it's a click at this time on this date and dropping this, you must tell audiences what to do if you want them to do something. Like I said, I was going to be hitting on
Okay, so in the first graphic, the call to action is 65% off Black Friday, swipe to sign up. So that's clear to me. Like I sign up to get notified of the sale. The other one just says 10 days away. Black Friday countdown. So with the second one, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do, except I don't know, keep in mind that 10 days from now, I should check back in with them. There isn't a really clear call to action there. It's just building excitement. So,
CTA, call to action, throughout today's presentation, because all of our marketing efforts are wonderful, but if they do not tell people where to go, what to do, then they're not sure how to take that next step, or they don't feel like it's necessary. So if you want users to click on a link or visit your website or show up at your front door, be sure to include a call to action that tells them to do just that. Also want to talk about video content. Video has been the king of content as of late. Its steady rise in user popularity got an even bigger boost in 2020, with people watching more online video than ever before. The use of videos has continued to perform higher than standard content for some audiences. They entertain,
for most audiences, I would say.
inform, teach, and help reach your target audience. They go viral more quickly, simply, and effectively. Platforms like TikTok have really changed this game for a lot of businesses and for just influencers in general. From the top of the sales funnel all the way down to the bottom, videos are really effective content marketing tools throughout the buyer's journey. Your video will be shown on social feeds, so it needs to have a huge impact within the first few seconds. You can even do, um, like a thumbnail that shows what the video is about that can really grab users' attention to say, like, oh, 10 tips for braiding hair, whatever the case may be. And then go into the video, because people can't necessarily see what your content is going to be without watching it. So a thumbnail is a great way to give them a preview of what's to come. And you can also achieve a really big impact with bright colors, unusual image, anything that counts to help people like get them watching and keep them watching. But keep in mind that your video should be able to stand on its own without sound. I think, I can't remember the statistic, but most of reels on Instagram are watched without the sound on. So
Yeah, it's like I know 90% of Facebook videos are watched with the sound off, and I think it's something above 70%. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Like you're lying in bed scrolling, you don't want to wake up the person next to you. You're at work and you don't want it blaring in the middle of the office. Like there's tons of times where like listening to the audio it doesn't quite work. So having the ability to either have the person be able to turn on captions or by adding the captions on the video yourself with the short format. You can do that in CapCut or Descript or any number of video editors automatically. Obviously, you might need to kind of correct spellings of things or whatever, but yeah, I think in general, adding captions is a good way to deal with that.
highly recommend adding closed captioning to enable viewers to understand your content. And that's literally just an option you click. You say, I would like to add closed captioning, and then it does it for you. You don't have to sit there and type all of your words yourself anymore, although you can do that. That's also an option. But highly recommend doing that as well.
On the screen, she didn't say it, but there was a stat that said like 78% of video marketers saw a positive return on investment for their video or something like that. And I would like to know where she got that stat.
Beautiful, lovely holiday content here. So, when creating your posts for the holidays, it might seem tempting to dive headfirst into like an all red and green everything. But I do want to caution you against going too far away from your business's brand colors. I really want you to try and stay
Yeah, it'll look generic if you do.
true to your branding as much as possible, wherever possible. And you're like, yeah, but my colors are blue and yellow. And I'm here to tell you that a lot of posts can include Christmassy colors like blue and yellow, gold. These are also symbolic of the winter or holidays. You can even do white and silver. They're synonymous with the season as well. And your posts and your content can be seasonal and eye-catching while remaining true to your brand. I will add that your posts can include those Christmas classic colors of red and green, but try using yours and adding in like an element of red or green to your graphic. You might want to add maybe
Don't make it look like Christmas threw up on your graphics. Got it. I totally agree with her here.
red snowflakes to this Black Friday post or red ribbons to the gift card graphic. And that's okay. It keeps your business on brand, but it does also add a little visual communication towards nods toward that seasonality of your content as well. Okay, more than 80% of adults would rather watch a live video from a brand than any other form of content. And I start you off with that statistic
Where are you getting your statistics? Can you just like say where you're getting these?
because I know not a lot of entrepreneurs like to go live, but I will say that, combine that fact with the fact that the average American adult is spending almost 6 hours a day watching videos. Now is really a great time to start using Facebook Live for your business. If you're not sure where to start, we actually often hear business owners are worried about what to say or do in your live stream. All you really need is a decent quality mobile phone, which almost everyone has these days, and a reliable internet connection, which can be shoddy at times. Let's all be real. But when your Wi-Fi is up and working, you can make it happen. So maybe consider going behind the scenes, conducting a live interview with maybe a happy customer. You can answer common questions about your business, do a Q&A, how to, like a lot of people are frequently asked questions. A lot of people keep messaging you about your business hours or what the process looks like, or can I get a quote? And you can do a quick video, live video about your quoting process or your hours, your holiday specials that are coming up, anything like that. You can talk about your business. You can even talk about the products that you've got going on. So just, give it a try. I promise. Facebook Live is not going to hurt you. It might just be the next best thing for you and your venture. And I've said this time and time again, but you really must have a content calendar. No matter the time of year, any year, it doesn't have to be the holiday season, but especially during the holiday season. Plan, 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 plan. You might think that sitting down to plan your content will end up taking more of your time, but this could not be farther from the truth. Not only will planning actually end up saving you time in the long run, you will ultimately feel more organized. You'll feel less frazzled and probably a lot more prepared to run other areas of your business. Because let's be honest, the holidays can get crazy busy without any kind of warning. So brainstorming and trying to execute a holiday strategy might be a little daunting to you right now, but you don't want your sales to ultimately suffer from the chaos of the holiday season. So
This will also keep you from overwhelming your marketing person, because we have clients send us stuff all the time and are like, "Can you post this right now?" I never actually take any time off between mid-November and December 20th, which is the last shipping day typically here in the US, because I know I'm just gonna get a bunch of crap at the last minute and I'm gonna have to just deal with it. But, yeah, if you get us stuff ahead of time, we can make graphics in a leisurely way that you'll have time to approve. We can build excitement and all of that. So planning this ahead of time also will help the professionals you're working with to do their work even better.
to really make your holiday social media strategy work, you can easily do, like, this is the next most common question I get when I suggest doing a content calendar. You can easily make a digital calendar with like Google Sheets. Jump on Google, find Google Sheets, type in calendar. You can print it out. You can do it digitally on Google Sheets or even their Word document. And if you have Excel, you could probably upload or find free Excel documents and doing it on Excel as well. Um,
I think if you're low tech, this will overwhelm you. If you wanna take a paper calendar and just write down what you want, like, this weekend we're doing this sale, this week we're open these hours. If you wanna, like, write it in a paper calendar, take a picture of it and text it to me, that's fine too. I don't care how I get the information as long as I get it, and whatever works for you, it doesn't have to be digitally. If I'm working with you, I just need the information. I don't care how I get it as long as I get it.
or you can simply print out a calendar, or if you
Yep.
have an actual calendar, you can use that too, and literally write on each day how many posts you want to go live, when you want them to publish, which platforms that they should go live on. And this will really just help you decide and game plan when you want to have special sale pricings, when you maybe need to have extra inventory in stock, or when you got to get those gift certificates printed before, Black Friday or, Christmas, like last rush, last minute gifts, Christmas. Gift cards, by the way, are great to do around that time. Um, so I really want you to like start thinking about what you want to say to your customers and those prospects. Maybe include important holidays, business highlights, sales or promotions, some testimonials, any products or services you're going to push, and anything else really that you just kind of want to showcase throughout the coming months. You can also apply this to your next year. I highly recommend a whole annual social media calendar. It's so helpful. It keeps you on point. There are so many holidays throughout the year, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, I missed this big opportunity for us to celebrate national, XYZ month, and I totally forgot about it. And that
I get that she's hammering home for you to do this because it is important and it does really help. But if you are completely overwhelmed in mid-holiday rush, just put a little note in your calendar to do this in early January.
could have been a really great opportunity. I'm going to put it on my calendar. I'm going to do it next year. And then you forget to do that too. So I highly recommend just getting yourself a simple calendar, marking down important dates, planning out important promotions, and then get more granular with that too. And do it month by month because it's going to give you more organization. It's going to save you so much time, like I said, in the long run to be able to focus on other areas of your business. Oop. Okay. Once you have a plan in place, that's when you can start posting any creative or compelling content that will really get your followers interacting with your posts to keep your business top of mind. So all of the lovely posts and examples that you've seen here can be created with our lovely GoDaddy Studio. They have all kinds of graphics for the holiday season, templates that you can easily input your business colors, any specialized fonts, information about your, you know, event.
Sorry, guys, I'm, like, getting so bored. He must be too. This is the GoDaddy Studio thing I was telling you about. It's templates, and you fill it in with your own stuff, like she was saying, but what I find is all the photo ones really rely on the photos versus the actual design. Like, the one with the sweater, like, the only reason that that particular image is interesting is the picture. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's anything to write home about. It's fine, but I think you're gonna find better and more options in Canva than you will here.
Or promotion, sale, whatever it is you've got going on. They've got a huge library of templates and features to help you create eye catching social posts, infographics, blog posts, emails, whatever. Um, Anytime that you need to spend on that can be cut in half with great templates like this. And as you design these graphics, you can save them all to a folder on your computer or even in the cloud so that you can use them this season and possibly the next one too. And by keeping your content timely and varied and beautiful and centered around a monthly theme, you really keep your customers engaged and excited to see what you have planned next. And GoDaddy Websites Plus Marketing is really great and helpful for planning out all of your content in advance too. So I want to talk about how the captions are often the most time-consuming element about creating content. So you want to be creative, you want to be witty, and you want to have meaning all at once in your caption. But when you're ready to post and put it together, the words just don't come easily. And you're like, sales going on until Tuesday. Come by and check it out. Okay, thanks. Bye. Um, and that's not really witty or meaningful or creative. So I want you to use this really huge time saving social media tip. Break out a Google Doc or a spreadsheet or a Word doc or a composition book, whatever format you feel most comfortable with. And when you have a free moment or you're sitting down to do this social media calendar and you're planning everything out, use that time to write down some captions so that you don't feel rushed to come up with copy when it's time to post. Even if it's just the hook, line, and sink, add some lit creative, make sure it's cute, and then the rest of the information you can fill in when the time comes. But it's also just a great way to prevent your content from getting stale. All of your previous captions will be in one document. That way you won't repeat yourself, or you don't have to come up with fresh ideas. You've already done it well last year. You can use something similar again, just change it up slightly. It's a really great time-saving tip.
Reusing content is a great time-saving tip, guys.
You've got a plan, you've got a calendar, you've got some awesome content, and now it's time to schedule. You could be going on your own holiday vacation, right? Entrepreneurs take time with their families too. You are
She says, laughing.
also trying to hang out with the fam and go to the mountains, build a snowman. Maybe you're in the mountains and you want to go to the beach. You can also do that. Just schedule everything in advance. Never worry about missing a holiday or special promotion. Save yourself the time later and schedule ahead. GoDaddy Websites plus Marketing is actually the perfect tool for scheduling and publishing posts in advance. We also have lots of wonderful competitors out there. I'm not here to just make you take on GoDaddy alone. Hootsuite is another product that a lot of people use in order to schedule posts, and it is very effective and saves business owners a lot of time. You can check that out as well. But we're just here to make it easier and faster for small business owners to really promote their holiday specials and still go on vacation. Like, you've got a lot, you've handled a lot all year long. You deserve a break too, and time to spend with the fam.
Most social media platforms let you schedule things. So, like Meta Business Suite has a scheduler in it that lets you schedule things for Facebook and Instagram. And there's tons of tools that kind of are around that $20 a month mark that lets you schedule content to multiple social media accounts at a time. And typically, what they do is they give you kind of one set of social media. So they'll let you post to one Facebook page, one X account, one Pinterest account, etc. So it doesn't have to be an expensive tool, but a lot of these social media sites have the ability to schedule things ahead of time built in.
Okay, we have already covered so much information.
Have we really covered that much content? Make a newsletter, make ways to sign up for the email newsletter on your website, make content for social media, plan it ahead of time, schedule the updates, have a call to action when you ask people to do something so that they know what to do after they see the thing. Am I missing anything? The thing is we're getting a very general internet marketing course here, and it's really hard to get into the specifics when you're trying to cover this much material.
I've been talking a lot. I hope you're getting some helpful information from this. I am just checking on the chat and the Q&A. Looks like we're good to go here. Lots of helpful blogs from Jeffrey. Lisa, so glad to be here to help.
I'm going to check the show notes and see if the resources are shared in the show notes after this.
I hope you're hearing some helpful information.
Like, it's fine. It's just general.
Bearing with my lovely post-flu cough. Okay. So customer advocates. Who are they? Who is she? Your customer advocates are really key to bringing in new customers, and as a result, more revenue. So 92% of people trust recommendations from friends and family over any other type of advertising.
Source, please.
So it really is critical that you have your brand ambassadors on your side telling others why purchasing from your business is a good choice. I am definitely one of those people who need to have reviews or recommendations in order to, before I trust a business. 9 out of 10 customers, myself included, read online reviews before they make a buying decision. And you'll be giving yourself a leg up on all other companies in your area by having these listings set up, verified, and updated.
I agree. Don't buy any advertising from Yelp. I have heard nothing but bad things about it. And most people are going to be looking at your Google reviews. So try to get 5 or more of them if you can.
So once the process is complete, make sure you add photos, you fill out all the details, hours, phone number, service area, everything in your listing. Make sure that all of your profiles have the same information about your business and that your hours, even your menu, if you have one, address, phone number, is accurate. You wouldn't believe how many of these business listings out there have inaccurate information. So do a quick search, look at all of these areas, make sure the information is accurate, that you've claimed your listings, and that you're reading these reviews.
When you set up your Google business listing, you can make it so that when you set up your Bing local listing, I think that's what it's called now, you can automatically connect it to your Google business listing. So when you update the listing on Google, it'll update it on Bing. And then what I do is I just make a little reminder quarterly in my calendar to just check my business listings, make sure things are accurate. Like, for example, when I go on Google, it'll say, oh, like, what are your holiday hours gonna be? And you can set those ahead of time rather than worrying about, like, logging in, like, the day before Christmas and changing them. It'll let you just say ahead of time that maybe you're closed on Christmas Day or something like that. Just make a little recurring event in your calendar every 2 or 3 months to, like, just log in and check your business listings, add a couple new photos, make sure your hours are accurate, that kind of thing.
On these pages, you have the ability to request quotes, visit your websites, call a member of the team, or even get directions. And having it out there and up to date is really crucial, not only for converting potential buyers during the journey, but for SEO as well, and making sure that your website is competing against your competitors. All right, I said checking out your reviews. That also means you should be engaging with reviews and responding to them. Now, I would love to see some of you in the chat. Let me know if you are responding to reviews. I sometimes get a lot of people that's like, yes, I'm responding to reviews. And if you're not, that's okay. Just let me know in the chat. I'd like to gauge to see how many of you are responding to reviews. Um, so if you
I think most people respond to their reviews. I think sometimes people aren't sure how to respond to negative reviews or kind of mediocre reviews. I think a lot of times people when they leave reviews, they wanna be heard and understood. So I think getting very defensive or mean is not the way to go. I think instead, validating their experience because let's face it, even if you want 100% of people to have the best experience at your business, it's just not possible when there's humans involved with things, right? Like things just always can't be perfect. So maybe there legitimately was a problem or maybe just a misunderstanding. I think acknowledging the person and I think trying to address the underlying issue, but letting them know that they're heard and then asking if you can have a conversation about it offline, then you can get more at the heart of it. Was it a specific employee? Was it a specific dish at the restaurant that just wasn't up to par? Is there a way you can make it up to the person? Maybe you send them a gift card. Maybe you offer to make a donation to their favorite charity if they're were visiting briefly in town and never going to come back anyway. There's just ways to alleviate the situation. A lot of times people just want to be heard and want to know that you care. You don't wanna just be in the comments being like, "Oh, come in for a free meal," because suddenly you're gonna start getting all these bad reviews because people wanna get the free meal. I think acknowledging the problem and then offering to talk with them offline about it, if you are gonna, like, offer them a free meal or something, I think is the way to do it, but I think the only time someone would not respond is if they got a bad or a mediocre review because 'cause they're not sure how to respond. And if the idea of responding to these just completely overwhelms you, you can hire people like us to do it. We did it for a restaurant once for like 3 years. We just like responded to all of their reviews, positive or negative, and just were super professional about it to the point where somebody in the comments was like, "Wow, like this is so professional. It's almost like they have a PR agency doing this." I was like, "Okay, well, guilty." So there are people you can hire if you just don't want to deal with it. And if we're doing it for you, I'm happy to pass on, hey, it seems like people really don't like the new formula of your hot chocolates. You're just getting a lot of feedback about it online. And you can do with that information what you will, and then we can handle the actual responses. Just know that that's an option if the idea of responding to these overwhelms you.
want to let those reading your reviews know that you care and that you're listening, good job, Tonya. I'm so glad you do. That you, if you want to let them know that you care and you're listening,
Mhm.
responding to reviews is a great way to do that. You
Yep.
will inevitably receive negative reviews,
Yep.
and that's okay. Responding to them in a kind way can show those reading them for the first time that you're willing to change their experience.
Yeah, and we also know that when we read an absolutely unhinged review, I don't think bad necessarily about the business. I just think that that person has some personal issues. So just know that too, that if I see a negative review about your business and I see that the person is being completely unreasonable or disrespectful or something, I just assume it's a problem with the person and not your business. And I think a lot of people think that way.
Um, I'll talk a little bit more about responding to negative reviews
Oh,
later.
okay.
And maybe that's the holdup for why you're not responding to reviews. Maybe
Yeah.
you've got some negative ones on there and you just think review sites are silly. But like I said, 9 out of 10 consumers will read reviews before interacting with your business. And so what your potential customers want to see first and foremost are, yes, positive reviews from happy customers, but what's also extremely important is that they see thoughtful and personalized, genuine responses to all positive, neutral, and negative reviews.
Mhm.
This is a great example of a lovely response to a positive review. In those responses, they can see that your shop is run by an owner who cares about their customers, who's listening to what they said, and wants them to have an excellent experience every single time. They greet them by name. Here, Sarah greets her by name, talks about the review she left was specific. Let us know if we can help in the future. It wasn't just a generic, thank you so much for your 5-star review, Gail. Love to help you in the future. It was very specific, and it changes it up. So I highly recommend doing that too. Change it up. So you don't look like a robot responding to all the reviews the same, copy and paste.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, awesome pointer tip for how to respond to reviews right there by Jeffrey. If you're on the fence or you haven't done it, you don't know what to say, there's some great pointers there. Now, once you've received reviews, you'll now need to share some positive praise, like on social media, for example. You can also do this on your website and have a whole section for reviews. Highly recommend doing that as well, but I'm just going to stick to social media for this example right here. Because reviews provide that ever important, what we call social proof. So why leave them on your review sites? You can share reviews in a visually appealing way on Facebook and Instagram with like a lovely template like this. Create a custom graphic that really features a positive quote. It can be as simple as quick response, polite and professional, or as detailed as Mesquite landscaping situation over here. But it's just a custom graphic that features this positive quote. Will go a long way. And posting reviews on social media not only shares that positive customer sentiment, but it reminds other customers that they can rate and review products that they have purchased as well. And this can continue from those holiday sales, those great customer experiences that you have into the new year, and continue bringing more customers through your door as the year continues on later. So capturing those reviews, responding to them, sharing them throughout the year, that's really essential to keeping those sales going.
Okay.
And then you're like, okay, I'm not sure how to get more reviews. I've got a couple people out there sharing, but it's just not happening at a great rate. Just because you have a wonderful product and service, it doesn't automatically mean your customers are going to get out there and campaign on your behalf. Sometimes it's necessary to get.
Here's the thing, you will get more reviews when you start sharing customer reviews because it shows your social media people that you care. In particular, if you link to where they can leave reviews from your social media, like this example on the screen from the cleaning guys company, right? It links to their Yelp business page where you can leave a review and you can see the one that they're talking about. But sometimes people need a carrot, right? So maybe every month of all the reviews given, positive and negative, you just want reviews, right? You draw a name of all the reviews that were submitted that month and you give the winner a $25 gift certificate or something. There has to be some reason for them to take time out of their day to leave a review, right? And so you can incentivize them with something like that.
Give people a little nudge. And what better way than to offer an incentive? Now, this is not, and I had someone ask me this last time, this is not paying
Nope.
or offering free things or gifts or anything
Oh,
for 5-star reviews.
yeah, you can't say 4 or 5-star reviews for all reviews. They leave a review, they're entered to win.
Very different. That is not what I'm saying you should do. I am
Nope.
simply saying you should offer an incentive. You should remind people that you are there in order to provide some honest feedback. Does that mean you may get some 3-star reviews as a result of throwing that out there?
Mhm.
Sure. Does that also mean that you will get more people sharing their personal experiences so that people will trust and build that rapport for your business? Absolutely. Many companies have referral programs and reward programs that provide gift cards or free products for each successful referral. So I highly recommend brainstorming a few ideas. Here are a couple of great examples. You don't necessarily have to offer an incentive. This cleaning guys just said, your feedback makes us shine. And they left a lovely link that said, your feedback is our greatest tool. I mean, that's so creative and catchy. A cleaning company, and it got 15 reactions. And it's a great way to capture reviews on social media. But brainstorm a few ideas for your business and implement some kind of program or marketing strategy. Include it in that calendar of yours throughout the year, but especially after a busy rush like the holiday season, to maybe reward your customers for leaving a review or bringing in new customers like a referral program.
Also, 5% off really isn't super enticing, I'm just gonna say it. If you're thinking that way, it would be better for you to say $5 off your purchase or something. A way of framing it that's not such a small percentage, I think might go over better, but just my
The
opinion.
whole point here, like I said, is to really build that credibility. And if done correctly, you will ultimately drive those leads down that marketing funnel towards a conversion. Okay, we are here at negative review responses. You knew it was coming. I couldn't not address it. It's the elephant in the room. They come, they're here. We don't like them. Look at your review, your responses to these negative reviews as some kind of public relations mechanism. Not
Mhm.
only do you acknowledge and respond, you also provide a way to resolve said issue. This is my favorite example to give because somebody wrote a 1-star review on this mesquite landscaping company because they didn't like the way the driver was on the road. Um, and they cut him off, and he was driving excessively slow. And he thought it was the best idea to leave a 1-star review for this business, although they had no interaction with the product, no interaction with
I don't know. If someone is driving dangerously in a company car, I think you are perfectly within your rights to think that that's awful and to say something about it. I don't necessarily think it's wrong for them to have posted this. If the guy would have called the company, maybe they wouldn't have said or done anything. And maybe this guy just wants people to like be on the lookout for this person who might be driving this car locally. But we'll see if she reads the response to this, but if she doesn't, I will, so you can see.
the actual services that they provide. And this is also just a great example of this last little section right here of flagging reviews. Yelp absolutely lets you flag reviews that, oh, okay. Skip ahead. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yelp lets you flag reviews if you did not have any if they were clear and obvious about not having any interaction with the product itself. So you can absolutely flag this and try to get it down. But
Mhm.
in the meantime, you should answer reviews as quickly as you can. You should answer all reviews and respond to all reviews regardless. And then you should keep calm and be professional. Be willing to ask questions and do some investigation. Lynn, the business owner, did a great job of apologizing if their
Mhm.
driving bothered him. Great way to apologize without actually apologizing. We always
Yeah, this is kind of in the same vein or as "I'm sorry you feel that way." So I don't like this opening line, but
want to ensure we respect traffic rules. Great point made, Lynn. So I'll speak with our team about what happened here. Also a valuable point. Make sure we're driving okay, team. We got a complaint about it. And then also said, please don't hesitate to reach out to our office directly if you have any details. Thank you. One round of applause, Lynn. This is a great way to
I don't like the first sentence, but I like the rest of it. I would say, "I apologize that our driver made you feel unsafe." Full stop. I wanna ensure that everybody in our company respects traffic rules. I will speak with the team about what happened here. I would keep the rest of it the same, but I would make a more stronger apology statement at the beginning. Otherwise, it feels like, I'm sorry you feel that way."
handle a really terrible person for leaving this 1-star review of this probably
Why is this guy a terrible person? I mean, it would be terrible if it was untrue, right? But at the same time, if it was true, if you're the owner of the company, wouldn't you wanna know that one of your drivers was driving unsafe in your company car?
excellent landscaping business because the driver was going too slow.
No, it's not that they were going too slow, it's that they were in front of the person going slow on purpose, and then when they tried to change lanes, the other driver changed lanes too, so they were, like, playing a little game. So it's not that they were going too slow, it's that they were kind of messing with this other driver.
Which isn't that bad, let's face it. But think of it as really grasping an opportunity to protect your business from misinformation and negativity. You have the ability to, oh, I keep doing this. You have the ability to make your customers feel heard and appreciated with a thoughtful response to every review. So,
I also wanna point out, if we look at Carl, underneath his picture, we see 216, so I think that's the amount of people he's connected with, and then we have a little star, and I think 35, that's the number of reviews he's left on this platform. And 4 is, I think, the number of photos he's uploaded as part of his reviews. So, it's not like he just joined this platform and left this review to just be an asshole. Do you know what I mean? Before I decided Carl was an absolute dickhead here, I would click on the 35 reviews he left and I would see the character of them. Are they all, like, mostly five-star reviews of local businesses and then there's this one? Okay, then I think maybe we should take it seriously. If he's just like going around leaving one-star reviews everywhere, okay, he's just being a dickhead. I have left a one-star review on Yelp before, and I think it was completely warranted. And I don't think that me leaving a bad review on a small business makes me a bad person when I had a terrible experience at that business or with that business.
whether that review is positive or negative, staying polite and professional and in line with your
Yeah.
unique voice is absolutely the way to go. Okay, so I kept skipping ahead. Now we're going to talk about how to point buyers to your website.
All right.
Um, so,
I mean, we're putting the links in the email template and we're putting links on social media. We've already talked about that. So I'm curious what additional things she's going to talk about
depending
here.
on the size of your business, you could easily end up having hundreds or thousands of pages on your website, and you're responsible for making your content shine. And each page has to promote your organization's mission, brand, services. So, how do you make that happen? How do you get everyone to take a look at them? Well, let's first talk about why a website is so important. Um, Many of you may have websites, some of you may not. Uh, Many small businesses, especially new small businesses, run a very lean operation and they focus on necessities and urgent matters, really only spending money when they need to. Totally get that. It's easy to see why some entrepreneurs might think a small business website is a luxury that they can afford to live without. My Facebook page does it all. You might think that that's okay, or a Facebook page does enough for an online presence, or maybe that a sign with your phone number will generate some calls, or that a traditional mailer will help you sell products. Sometimes they do. A professional website isn't an expensive luxury or a frivolous endeavor. It's actually an affordable, fundamental tool that every company needs in
And we have a website builder that we can sell you.
today's digital world. So if you still aren't sure that a website is right for your business, consider some of these reasons why you need it.
I think it's important for most businesses to have a website, but I just want to point out that GoDaddy has a website builder they can sell you, and I'm wondering if she's going to talk about that directly.
It really anchors your marketing. You're doing all of these efforts. You're sitting here with me. You're trying to get a game plan for the holidays, and it all should point back to your website and it really anchors that marketing. It does help you promote and sell your products or services, whether you have a commerce page or a contact form where you're booking appointments online. It helps you sell those products or services. It also connects you with new customers, people that are searching for companies in your area. Checking out a website is the number one thing that people are looking for to establish credibility, which is also on this list, building credibility. A website also helps you compete with larger brands. You may be a small shop, but a website can really help you have a leg up or a competing force within larger brands. And last but not least, it actually is simple and affordable to set up these days. We make it super easy for you. We can do it all ourselves. You can do it all yourselves, or we can do it all for you, whatever the case may be. It can actually be really simple and affordable. Okay, So if you have a website, now you're getting ready to point buyers to it. If you're directing users to your site, you want to make sure that you actually have an effective site to begin with. You don't want a potential customer to land on a page that's confusing or has like little to no valuable information. Follow some of basic guidelines to ensure that you have quality content to drive traffic to. So number one is make sure your site and your pages are clean and user friendly. Nothing makes a potential customer bounce off your page faster than a poorly designed or a cluttered site.
I'll just say it, I have not seen a website built with GoDaddy's website builder whose design I've actually liked, but I'm sure they're gonna show us some examples here.
So make sure your site
Prove
looks
me
clean,
wrong.
that it's user friendly. Ask someone to take a look. Ask someone to scroll around and check out some features. Make sure it's real friendly. Get some feedback. Make some changes if you need to. 2, include a prominent and persuasive CTA. Here's that acronym again. While this may seem simple on a landing page, you still need to focus on that conversion point, i.e. that book now, call us, reserve here, add to cart, 2 or 3 quick messages, just like we discussed for email. And your site should also really be helpful and informative and relevant to the search terms or phrases that your customers are looking for. So you want it to, if people are searching for something, they want it to make sure when they go to their website, it's relevant to what the information that they were looking for. So, and it's helpful and informative. And then even having high quality content on your site will also help your overall SEO value. So it's a win-win, really. Okay, make sure that the content on your website and your social media, when you're pointing it to your website, is well crafted, it's informative, it reflects you and your business's personality. So whether it's an original e-commerce infographic, if it's an entertaining how-to video, or if it's a unique critic on like the best soy latte on the block.
I wanna point out here too that she's using some examples of content here, but the examples she's using have very strong photographs, and that's a big reason why they work really well. If these photos weren't as good, the graphics wouldn't be nearly as nice. So if you are looking for kind of a way to create DIY graphics, make sure you're working with strong photos or have someone come take some strong photos for you to work with of your products or services.
Whatever it is, share content that people can't find anywhere else on the whole wide web. Information that they'll want to link on their own, maybe put it on their website, share it on their social profiles. The more places it's shared, the more places out there, the more links back to your website you will have. So some great content can include, but it's definitely not limited to using professional graphics. We talked about GoDaddy Studio. That's a great way to have a professional looking graphic done that points to your website or is on your website. Really stick to your branding. Make sure it looks like your business. It's unique to you. People can identify you. And when they go to your website, they know that that is in fact where they landed. Maybe even create some unique blog posts, do some timely sales or promotions, and then even holiday gift guides are really helpful around this time of year. And that's also a great way to promote your products too. But if
Mhm.
not, it's just a helpful tool back to your website to get them checking out you and who you are and what you offer. All right. Once you have some amazing content up there, be sure that it's all optimized to be found by search engines. So do a little research into the keywords that your potential customers might enter into search engines, like Google, really, to find you or your competitors. And
It's called the Google Keyword Planning Tool. It is built into Google AdWords. You have to make an AdWords account to be able to see it. You can also use google.com/trends, and you can search relative popularity of up to 5 keywords at a time, and it will also suggest other keywords to you, so you can keep track of things that way. You can also use some paid tools as well. Some of them, like Keyword Discovery, lets you try them out free for like 7 days, so that would give you enough time to do your keyword research without having to pay for it. Or you can use kind of a low-cost tool like Keywords Everywhere, and do some research that way. But I thought I'd give you some actual things besides telling you to just Google it.
And this can help you kind of figure out what words are popular, right? Brainstorm, write down a few top terms on a piece of paper, and these keywords are used to be included throughout your website, right? Without going overboard or stuffing your content with keywords, you can really try to incorporate them naturally. And generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, a page should target 5 to 10 keywords. And as a rule of thumb, 1 keyword per 100 words of content. Now, what does that look like? Having those keywords set up and optimized, it really
I wouldn't necessarily concentrate super hard on like, I have to use only 1 keyword per 100 words of content. I think mostly it's like just sprinkle them in. You don't wanna like douse your site in keywords because it's gonna sound like a robot wrote it, and people won't like that, and also search engines won't like it either. So just sprinkle them in your content so that it doesn't feel like you're trying to shove them all in there on 1 page.
helps search engine crawlers organize and rank your site to have it pulled appropriately when someone searches for like stylist near me. Those are keywords. Dog groomer, those are keywords. Accountant, construction services, those are keywords.
We don't know until we start researching what they're actually looking for. I'm not sure if people look up construction services. I think they might look up like contractor or construction company or something like that. But I mean, she knows more about construction than I do. She worked in the construction industry for a while. Sounds like her husband is in construction. So I will defer to her about that. I'm just saying, I don't know if people are searching for construction services. Maybe they are. I could be wrong.
So you want to make
God, oh my God, this poor woman is like miserable. Poor
your
thing.
website and throughout your page. Like I said, target 5 to 10 keywords or 1 per every 100 word on your website. And that's just the rule of thumb too. So to help people find and search for your business, that's a little SEO.
Okay.
Okay. And you also need to be utilizing social media to point buyers to your site. Unfortunately, one thing that makes it difficult to use Instagram to drive traffic to your website is that there isn't an option to include links within your post captions. Now, maybe you've already figured this out, or maybe you've been on Instagram and you've tried to click on a link and it doesn't click and you can't copy and paste it and it's a whole mess. However, you can add one primary clickable link in your bio. And you can optimize that link to drive more traffic through some really helpful tactics. You can include a call to action in your bio that tells users to click on the link and what they will get out of it. So, for example, if you have a freebie ebook, include something like click below to grab the free 30-day or 30-page guide. If you have a lengthy URL, I highly recommend avoiding those long, ugly links by shortening it. There's a great site called Bitly, and it allows you to sign up for an account. And you can also track how many people are clicking on those links, which is a great analytic that you can have to, talk about the effectiveness of your campaigns or your social media marketing. And if you have multiple links to promote, you can use a tool like GoDaddy's Link in Bio Creator. A link in bio is a
You can also just make a page on your website that's mobile friendly. So it could be like yoursite.com/mobile or yoursite.com/hi. And you can put all that stuff there too. So you can use a third party service like link in bio or beacons.page, or you could just make a page on your website that is mobile friendly that would look like this using your site design. And if you have Google Analytics or something installed on your website, you'll be able to track how many people click on different buttons anyway. In the new version of Google Analytics 4, which has been out for a couple of years, but it's been improving a lot over the last 6 months, you can actually track clicks to specific buttons. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to set up, I'll be honest with you, but Ben has been taking a course and has been setting up this custom reporting for clients. So if you want a custom report set up, just let us know. But you can actually track these links on your own website too, just FYI.
single universal link that you can add to your social page. It's one link and it takes you to a a mobile friendly homepage with all of your most important links in one place. So it essentially functions in the same way as a website, but much more simple. It's like a junction to all different avenues that make up your online presence. Can it connect you to events you've got going on, a special you've got going on, how to sign up for emails, different things. It can just be a sale that you have.
Jessica changes what's on ours about once a week. She like logs in and like features different YouTube videos and moves things around. So this can also be something that you just schedule like once a month to go in there and sort of like change it up to.
Or an item that you want to talk about, or a blog that you wrote and you want to promote, things like that. And you can do that with one link in your bio. It's great. So I highly recommend doing that. Okay. You've been with me for an hour. I'm
Woohoo.
so glad you are all here. I've saved after this little, I'm going to give you some action items that you can take with you. So if you've been writing all of this down, that's great. And if you were like, okay, there's so much helpful information, Alyssa, what do I do next? That's why I have
Okay. I'm excited about this.
this
Thank you.
handy dandy little page here.
All right.
Lots of information in the last hour. First and foremost, I would love to see you create a buyer persona. Really take the time to define your target audience, and don't forget to include those that will be making a purchase for this ideal customer. That's also key around holiday centered planning. So make sure you're including them as well. But also, having that buyer persona will be helpful into the new year and on through 2023 and more. Okay. Next, explore email marketing. Consider it if you're not already taking advantage of it. Number one, add a pop-up on your website for collecting emails. Now that you've considered it and you're like, I need to get it going, but I have no emails, my next action item would be to have you create a pop-up on your website for collecting emails, and then get started piecing together an email campaign, because once you get them, you should definitely start sending them out. Next is to definitely plan your social media efforts now, right? Create a calendar, print one out, go to Google. Their calendar is super easy and simple, and you can have it all digitally, but whatever it is, create a calendar and start your posts while you still have time right now. And last, drive traffic to your website with like a unique blog post or a holiday gift guide. Get some really great content out there that you can share for free that will direct users to your site. Also, make sure your website is in tip-top shape. So comb through it. Like I said, have a friend go through it. Make sure everything is really user-friendly.
I'll also say check your website for any mobile display issues and check your website for load times because those can really affect the performance of your website over time. And usually there's like an easy fix. With most websites I see that are loading in 8 seconds or something, I see that it's like images. So I just compress the images and ta-da, it loads in under 3 seconds. So usually it's a simple fix. The mobile stuff, maybe not so much, but it is worth fixing since a majority of your visitors are coming in off of mobile devices.
Have accurate information out there. Maybe add some relevant keywords to your site, or create a GoDaddy Studio link in bio to connect all of your links on Instagram in one convenient place as well. So lots of really great tips that you can take out of today's information to get you started on planning for the holidays, and hopefully beyond that into the new year. We want to help you make those sales and continue on into 2023 and more. These are really great tactics that you can use over the lifetime of your business that can help you grow and expand and convert leads into customers and lifelong customer advocates as well. With that, we have reached the end of today's presentation. I have generously saved us about 25 minutes or more.
I've generously saved us. Okay, we can pretend that's generous, or we can just say, hey, you just sat here for an hour. I'm happy to answer some of your actual questions.
23 minutes. I guess, specifically to do a quick Q&A. If you have any questions, like I said, covered a lot of content, a lot of topics. We went through, that customer persona, the target audience, to email marketing, which sometimes consider a bit daunting, down through social media, through customer advocates and reviews. I know that can sometimes get a little dicey for folks. And then last on to your website and pointing people to it. So if you have questions on any of that content, I am here to help and address them as much as I can, right?
Okay.
So I'll just pause briefly to let anyone who's interested start typing their questions. And then if not, we can end today's webinar a little early and give you all your time back.
Don't ask me any questions. Also, this goes on for a while, so I'm assuming somebody does ask her questions. I'm cleaning up my Instagram as I'm hanging out here. Yeah, okay, it's still playing. I was just making sure. It goes on for a bit. Her video is back on, and it looks like there's a still image below
Oh,
her.
hello. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you had such a good time.
All right.
Links Jeffrey shared, will they be available through the recording? The recording, no, it will not. However, if you would like some more helpful information, you can definitely email us, and I will put this email in the chat for all of you. Feel free to email empower at GoDaddy with any specific questions that you might have, and we can share as much information as we can. Judy, is there a good tutorial about how to make live videos? Live videos are a bit different. You don't have to make them, like recorded videos, TikTok videos, Reels. There are lots of probably tips and tutorials out there about how to do them. But live is more so you just hit the go live button, you sit there, you talk. It's a lot about preparation more than anything. I'm sure you could do a quick search that says how to prep for going live. Those are great keywords to check out. Number one, I think if you're gonna do any kind of video is to plan. You have a goal. Same with like email. I was talking about, what is your goal? Do you want to create new revenue? Do you want to
Do you want to show off the new products you've gotten in stock for the holiday season? Do you want to do a live gift guide where you go over a potential gift idea for each kind of type of person someone might be shopping for? Do you want to do a cooking demonstration showing all your different cookware? These are kind of objectives that you might have for a live video. So obviously, if you were like, okay, I want to do a gift guide for every possible person that we might need to shop for, you got to think ahead of time. Okay, so for a teenager, what do I have in my store that would be for a teenager? And why would that be for a teenager? And then you have to like pull it from the shelf, right? So that when you're talking about it, you can be like, oh, for a teenager, like I have this thing that they might like, blah, blah, blah. That's what she means about thinking about it ahead of time. The thing with a live video is once you start, you're kind of there, you're in front of your camera. For example, like I could leave the frame right now, right? I could do that, but it would be awkward for you watching it. You'd be like, where did she go? How long is she going to be gone? So the idea with the live video is while you don't have to edit it once it's done, once it's started, there's really not much you can do. So as much as you can do ahead of time to pull the products you want to feature. Oh, I want to show someone wearing that skirt because it looks a lot better on. Okay, well, it might be difficult for me to wear the skirt and talk about the skirt. So I'm going to call my friend and she's going to come over and wear the skirt. Let me make sure she's available the day and time I want to do the live stream. So like you work through all these issues and then you do the live stream. There's tons of tips online. And honestly, like your first live stream, it's not gonna go super well, and if you wanna just see some examples, just scroll back in this channel, like, I don't know, to, like, 5 or 6 years ago and watch some of my live streams. Do you know what I mean? You get better at them as you do them, but so the long form video format is not for everybody, but people do like watching them, so why not try if you're open to it?
Talk with your customers? Do you want to capture leads? Whatever.
I will say interacting with other people does bring it up a level in terms of complexity. It's one thing if you've kind of gone through and thought like, "Okay, I wanna present this information in this order." If you add someone else to it, they might say something you're not expecting, and you have to respond to it. So, I will say if you involve other people, just, like, be comfortable with that because they might bring an element to things that you're not expecting.
Whatever the goal of your video is, or talk about a product or service, promote a sale, anything like that, you need to have that in mind. And then who is going to be in your video, what topics you're going to cover, how you're going to make that impact in what it is you're going to say. You need to capture their attention, right? And then how you're going to close it out, how you're going to go from beginning to middle to end, so that it all flows together and makes sense. What time of day you're going to do at, the lighting you're going to be in, any background noise you need to consider,
Mhm.
who's going to hold the phone, who's going to be in it, what are they going to say, and trying to plan that out can all be really helpful. So that you're not just kind of making it up. Now, then there are also people out there who just hop on their phone. They say, "Hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm me. This is my personality. This is what I wanted to talk to you about." And then they'll let it go. And there's no planning. There's nothing to it. You can also do both of those types of content. You don't have to do one or the other. Video is just, it can be supernatural, it can be super well thought out. My recommendation is to just get started, just give it a go, start creating something, get on TikTok, give it a try. My boss recently wanted to start giving it a try. I did too. Am I out there creating a ton of content that's killer and going viral? Absolutely not. Am I doing it for fun? Doing it to understand the tool a little bit more? 100%.
Yeah, but like you're in marketing, I'm in marketing. We have time to explore new platforms in a way that a lot of other people don't, right? If you're a small business owner and marketing is just one of the jobs you have to do, you might be able to justify spending 30 minutes a day or an hour a day on your marketing, but you have all this other stuff that you need to accomplish too as the business owner. What I say is don't feel a need to learn an entire new platform if you're in the middle of holiday marketing. I think if you were like, okay, I'm going to send out some emails and maybe I'm going to run an ad on Instagram or Facebook and that's all I've got the bandwidth for, I think that's okay. You can take some time to explore new platforms when you have a little bit more time. But I would say in the rush of the holiday season, I don't think you're going to have the bandwidth to do that, to explore a new platform. I mean,
Um, Sometimes the lack of information can prevent people from getting started. And so the more information you seek, the more you just go for it and give it a go, the more comfortable you will ultimately get as a result. So I hope you give it a try. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say there's a huge tutorial, but you could Google search how to
well,
make some videos,
yeah.
and you'll find lots of really great results out of that.
If you want a quick thing, keep your video 60 seconds or less so that you can post it to the max amount of platforms and spend about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes on either TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts and just watch some videos. And you'll get the vibe pretty quickly of like the kinds of content people are producing. And then record your own video and use a tool like CapCut on your phone, or there's lots of different video editing software. You wanna just kinda tighten it up a little bit, and then if you wanna add, like, a little bit of music or some text or something, you can, and just post it, as long as it's under 60 seconds, and shoot for a couple videos a week. And you will find your voice, I think, pretty quickly once you start posting content and getting feedback on that content. So that's what I would do. I would use those tools if I was just getting started.
Too. Great question. Thank you for asking them. We still have a bit of time. Oh, I think I see something up in this Q&A. Any tips on gaining traction on construction related training as a new business? Gaining traction. So you want to get things going for construction related training.
Okay, so you wanna target owners of construction businesses, maybe with some advertising? I mean, it sounds like you have a specific offer to a specific audience, and if you don't already know those people, an ad might be a good way to start.
No, I'm not sure if this is a marketing effort or if you're just wanting to get um, uh, or if you're just wanting to teach people the world of construction and you're wanting to spread the word that you do this. Can you confirm with me in either the Q&A? You can do it anonymous. Yes, the latter. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I was addressing the question correctly. It's okay. Thank you, Tanya. um, I would say
She has no idea what to
to
say.
treat this, you've got what is ultimately a service that could be, it's a product that can be used as a service. And um, if you are doing, if you have a website, number one, that's great. Apply a lot of the keywords information that I let you know, because
Okay.
people who are wanting to be trained in construction areas are out there searching Google to find people that do this. Um, they're okay, like, hey, I'm interested in XYZ industry and I don't have this skill, but I probably need to get it. Let me see, is there anyone out there that's training how to set tile or how to do drywall or how to paint exteriors? And if you're using, if you do offer those services, those keywords should be on your website. You can create blogs.
If I wanna know how to do something, I'm gonna hop over to YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So if it was me, what I would do is I would upload a few videos to YouTube. Here is how to do drywall, and I would go over, like, the list of materials and where to find them and how to hang your first sheet of drywall. And what that does in a video format is it shows how you do the trainings. It shows how clear you are with your instructions and how detailed you are and how you address audience questions that they might have, like you anticipate their questions and answer them as you're going along. And at the end of that video, you say, "Hey, and if you're in construction and or want to get into construction and want some training, I have a whole library on my website." So you don't upload all of the videos to YouTube. You just upload like a few of what you think are more popular topics. That way, if someone's searching for those and they say, "Wow, like this person really showed me how to hang drywall," they have a whole library of content on their website. You know what? I'm going to totally buy that training because if they can be this helpful with drywall, they can help me do everything in my house. So think of it that way. You can optimize your website and stuff, but people are going to YouTube for how to do stuff. Like every time I have to change the stupid headlight on my car, right to YouTube. So in terms of how to do something, I go to YouTube because I need to see the step by step and I need to see how it's done in the 3D way. So that's what I would recommend doing for this person in the construction training business.
For like for people who are interested in getting started in that field, how free tips and how to's you can show that you're knowledgeable in the area, with like a blog on 5 essential steps for putting drywall up in a new home, or 10 things you must need to know before getting certified as a plumber, things like that, and putting it having several blogs out there and backlinks out there and sharing it on your page so people know that you are um, knowledgeable in that area and that you train people to do that. That's one really great way that you can spread the word. um, Going to I don't know if you do this, but going to job fairs and in person, I know is a really common.
I mean, the other thing you could do is just go on LinkedIn and you could find people who own construction companies, like good size ones, maybe where there's a lot of turnover with staff. And you can say, hey, listen, like I have this whole series of videos that trains people on how to do things, the correct way. I've been in construction for 20 years. Here's a couple of sample videos for you to see. Let me know if you'd be interested in me providing these videos for your staff. That's another way to do it too. I mean, you could try going to trade shows and stuff, but that just might get expensive for you. And if you just want to get some initial customers and you've already recorded these trainings or something like that, I would maybe do the LinkedIn thing because if you own a large construction company or even a medium-sized one are probably on LinkedIn and you might be looking for affordable and comprehensive trainings for your new hires about how to do things in construction the quote unquote right way. So that's just my
Common thing in the construction industry is to show up at oh, and I can't conventions and things like that, homes and gardens conventions and other construction related areas and setting up a booth and a table and saying, hey, like we're here, we do this. That's also building brand awareness. And I would suggest also focusing on brand awareness as well and spreading the word that this is that you're out here doing this, that you offer this service, and that can maybe help you gain some traction too.
eh.
And those are just my two tips to hopefully help you get started. There's so many things people can be doing to try and gain traction, right? But um, I'm going to narrow it down to those two. They instantly popped in my head. So I have no problem. I hope that helps you, Tanya. And let's see.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'd say upload full length videos to YouTube so people see you know what you're doing and want to subscribe for your other stuff. And I would say start hitting up people on LinkedIn who own medium to large construction companies who would want to pay for this kind of training. And maybe one of their challenges is hiring and onboarding new employees.
Answered that live. Good. Okay. Still have a few more minutes. We got 12 minutes according to my clock.
She's like, the second this is done, I am done. I have 12 minutes and then I'm done. That's fine. I've been recording for almost 3 hours, by the way. This video will not be 3 hours long. I don't know if she's looking through the questions or just waiting for someone to ask one. Most webinars I'm on, there's more questions than we have time to address, so yeah. So are you gonna provide the links to all your sources that you quoted throughout this presentation with
Like I
stats?
said, if we don't have any more questions that come through, we can
The
always give you some time back.
She's
I know
like,
you're
"Can
busy
I
entrepreneurs
know you're busy.
who
I
probably run a lean crew that you can
I
have
don't know. That's a bit of an assumption. They just might have other things to do. That doesn't mean they have a very small business. It could be that they just don't know a lot about marketing and they want like a refresher. You know what I mean?
the 10 minutes back in your day if we don't have any more questions. So I just wanted to say thank you all so much for letting me be here and help you with some strategies and tips to convert those the holiday traffic into New Year's sales. We covered a lot. I'm so glad you found this really helpful, Angie. Like I said, take those action items I gave you at the end, get started, get creating. You've joined because you're interested in getting some things going. So don't let it end here. Keep up the momentum. The holidays are around the corner.
Mhm.
Halloween is just a couple weeks away. I'm very excited. And email empower@godaddy.com if you have any more questions that come in. We'd be happy to help you. This recorded session, I'm not sure if it will be emailed directly to you, but I will absolutely be passing that on, and I'm sure they will have that available. So if
Might be a good thing to find out before you give a presentation where it's gonna end up
it's
living
not emailed
after.
directly to you, it will be if you email empower@godaddy.com and we'll get it out to you ASAP. But yes, it's recorded. We will also be keep your eye out on the GoDaddy YouTube channel. This will be shared on our YouTube channel as well. So head over to the GoDaddy YouTube page and subscribe so that way you can stay updated with any videos that we share with you along our journey. We do this all the time. We share so much great, free, available, helpful information with small businesses and entrepreneurs to help them get going, to help them bring in new business and sell more products, sell more services. So that's what we're here for. We do it all the time. Stay involved with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will see this video and many more to come on there, as well as lots of others. Helpful tips. There's video marketing tips up there, email marketing tips, so many social media marketing tips. So check it out as well. Lots of helpful information. Okay, yeah. I made that myself. The action item page was something I did. But you can literally just draw 4 lines on a piece of paper, or do an Excel doc on and just create 4 columns, and there you go. Those are your action items, good to go. Super easy to do, I promise. It can totally be not something that takes more than 5 minutes to put together. But
I
yes,
am
get it out to
It might take you more than 5 minutes to put together all the action items. It would take me more than 5 minutes, and I've been doing this for a really long
you.
time,
You'll
so
check it out. So glad you were all here. And I will be giving you back the rest of your day. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up.
I love how much she wanted to be done with that presentation. I mean, there was nothing there that she said that I found to be, like, inherently wrong. When you cover like, a whole field, like marketing, and you're given an hour to do it, it's gonna feel both very general and like you're, like, covering it in a dead run. Like, here is search engine optimization. Here is, like, website usability. Here is email marketing. Here is social media marketing. And it doesn't feel like we got any how-tos in there. And I've had, businesses and organizations want me to come in and do a social media 101 presentation. And last year I had an arts organization do this. And so I went in and I covered a lot of stuff. And the feedback I got was people were like, she didn't go over how to design graphics. She didn't go over how to post on social media. So it was like people wanted help with like these detailed tactical things, but I couldn't cover everything and be detailed and tactical in a 2-hour period. So when this year came up and they still wanted me to present, which I was appreciative about, I said, okay, I felt like I was trying to cover a lot of content. Can we narrow this down to just about Instagram? And can we agree on this outline of stuff? And they were like, yep, this looks great. And I haven't heard about how the participants felt, but they did seem happier with it at the end. I saw less, glassy eyes, less people who like looked overwhelmed because we did go over, okay, this is how I would use this software to edit a video. This is how I would write a caption for this. This is how I would design this graphic in Canva. So I did use specific tools and go over how I would design with them with people, and I think they appreciated it. But it's always hard when you're going for a general audience to think about a training that's going to be satisfactory for all of them. I think she did a pretty good job balancing, you know, going over something general while also giving some specific action items. So GoDaddy, I did not hate this content, but I do wish you would have cited your sources. Actually, let me just see if they did in the show notes real quick. They did do timestamps for each of the concepts, but I don't see any sources here. Again, if they would have had a slide at the end of all the sources, that would be fine. If they would have linked them here, that would have been fine. If they would have linked them with each of the graphics they showed, that would have been fine. That's my only complaint is cite your sources, GoDaddy. So thanks very much for watching this holiday edition of Nicole Reacts. I appreciate you taking the time, and whether you celebrate a holiday in December or not, I wish you the best wishes as 2023 comes to an end. I hope wherever you are cozy and happy and doing something that you really like at some point this month to celebrate getting through the year. If you have an online guru or a specific video or even a concept that you want me to react to, you can leave it as a comment on this video. Or if you're more shy, you can use the contact form of our website, breakingeveninc.com/contact. That goes right to me, and I will be able to see all of your information without other people being able to see it. If you want to lightly follow us, we do have an email newsletter that goes out once a month breakingeveninc.com/newsletter. And if you go to that page, you'll see past issues that you can peruse and see if you like it before you sign up. The sign up's on that page as well. And as a reminder, if you think that we'd be a good marketing partner for your business or nonprofit, you can go to our website, breakingeveninc.com, and sign up for a no obligation consultation. And I'm happy to talk to you about your marketing needs and if we might be a good fit. So thanks so much for watching. And remember, these gurus will just keep on coming. But the good news is you have a friend, and that's me in the marketing business, who's not afraid to call them on all their bullshit. Take care.